While the war between Ukraine and Russia is in full swing, different developments are taking place on all fronts. The intensity of the clashes in the Kherson region continues to increase. The Ukrainian army had managed to be very effective throughout the war with Bayraktar TB2 unmanned aerial vehicles purchased from Turkey. After the successful operations with Bayraktar TB2, the authorities and military leaders had once again seen the effectiveness of Bayraktar TB2. In order to further strengthen the mission of protecting national security, the use of UAVs was increased. To date, the Ukrainian army has managed to destroy many Russian gathering areas, ammunition depots and supply points with Bayraktar TB2 UAVs. Finally, Bayraktar TB2 unmanned aerial vehicle destroyed a Russian patrol boat and military truck in the Kherson region of Ukraine, with a great comeback after weeks of silence following the allegations that it disappeared in the skies of Ukraine. The Bayraktar TB2 unmanned aerial vehicle managed to destroy its silently and carefully observed target within seconds. Bayraktar TB2 was closely monitoring every detail thanks to its high-resolution camera. UAV operators were looking forward to that moment. An extremely precise strike was required for the success of the operation, and they destroyed the patrol boat and military truck, which were under surveillance, and became a target with a sudden shot. With this operation, TB2 attracted all the attention again. Ukraine had previously carried out major operations with Bayraktar TB2 on a scale that would make a sound in the world. The operation was documented in a video shared on the official social media account of the Ukrainian Ministry of Defense a few days ago. In the video, the moments of the destruction of the KS-71 Tunet-class Russian patrol boat, which was operated by TB2 Bayraktar unmanned combat aerial vehicles, can be seen. In this operation, which took place on the Black Sea coast of the Kherson region, 6 people on the patrol boat lost their lives, while 2 people were injured. Following this incident, online intelligence and naval analyst Sutton stated that the K-72 boat seen in the video is different from the standard model. Apparently, this version was equipped with outboard engines and a hatch cover in front of the cabin. In addition, Bayraktar TB2 is still in active use in Ukraine and continues long-range reconnaissance missions, the open-source Oryx said, adding that the number of these drones is still uncertain, but at least 20 of them are in service. Considering the fact that Ukraine makes very good use of TB2s, this number of drones is a serious threat to Russia. Moreover, another video showed that Ukrainian Bayraktar TB2 UAVs destroyed another Russian army truck. These attacks took place during a period of intense fighting in Kherson Oblast. Russian forces are heavily shelling the area, while civilian casualties are also occurring. We have stated in our previous reports that Russia attacked the region without considering and planning the presence of the civilian population in the region. This attitude of Russia continues to be reacted by the whole world. Ukraine achieved a great victory in this region last autumn when it recaptured Kherson from Russia. After the Bayraktar TB2 UAV successfully hit the designated Russian targets, the international diplomatic scene was rapidly mobilized. This event attracted the attention of various countries and international organizations. In fact, all operations carried out by Ukraine are closely monitored by the intelligence units of other countries, and reports are submitted to the leaders of the countries with the course of the war. The intelligence units following the war are the intelligence units of the countries involved in this war. This war is not only between Russia and Ukraine, especially the intelligence agencies of the countries that provide ammunition and intelligence information to Ukraine are following the war as closely as the soldiers fighting on the front line. This is a war in which almost the whole world is involved. After Russia invaded Ukraine, all developing and developed countries in the world imposed very heavy economic sanctions on Russia. However, these countries have announced huge aid packages to Ukraine since the beginning of the war, and have provided and continue to provide Ukraine with state-of-the-art ammunition. The repercussions of these operations were quite effective. When we analyze the operations, the most striking thing is that Bayraktar TB2 suddenly appeared after weeks of invisibility and carried out a very effective operation, showing us how strong and dangerous the cooperation between TB2 and Ukraine is. The invisible TB2 suddenly appeared and became Russia's fearful dream. Ukraine is able to catch the Russians unprepared by organizing the planning and timing of its operations very well. This situation proves Ukraine's seriousness and success in operations to the whole world. So, what do you think about the extensive operations carried out by the Ukrainian army? Do you think Ukraine is successful enough? Bayraktar TB2, which is also mentioned by war analysts in their analysis, has a long firing range and is equipped with high-resolution electro-optical and infrared cameras, which are very important features for Ukraine. These cameras help to track and identify targets with high levels of detail, allowing the Ukrainian army to track and destroy the targets it has identified in a very secret and comfortable way. It seems that Ukraine will continue to carry out operations with TB2. If Russia cannot prevent this situation, it may suffer greater losses. While these developments are taking place, hot clashes continue on the front line. The counterattacks carried out by the Ukrainian army after weakening the power of the Russian troops with its active defense strategy are yielding positive results. There is a strong and clear progress of Ukraine on some fronts. We all know that the Bakhmut front line, which is located in the very center of the front line, has a critical importance for the course of the war. As you know, there are long-standing clashes on the Bakhmut front line. The goal of the Russian army here is to create a bridgehead to advance to the Ukrainian capital, Kiev. The goal of the Ukrainian army is not to give this bridgehead to the Russian army. According to the latest reports, the Russian army counterattacked in Kurdyumovka, Klashevka and Zelezhnyansky regions. These areas are located south of Bakhmut city center. Although Russian troops carried out attacks in this area, they failed to achieve their main goal and failed to retake the positions captured by the Ukrainian army. Ukrainian troops have a clear strategic superiority in the region. It is very important that Ukrainian soldiers, especially in the Klishivka region, have captured the positions on the hill. These hills have a clear view of the region. Ukrainian soldiers on the hill can easily neutralize the Russian soldiers below and trying to advance towards the region. For this reason, the Ukrainian army is very advantageous in this region compared to Russia, and it seems very difficult for Russia to break Ukraine's defense line in this region. When we look at the Donetsk front line, which is another important region, we can see that the Ukrainian army has won a victory in this region, although not very big. We can see that the Ukrainian army has gained new areas of dominance in the Opytne region near Avdiivka in the last few days. Russians cannot advance in this region despite all their efforts. Ukrainian troops continue to prevent Russian attacks in the region and keep relative control to the region. What do you think about Ukraine's effective operations with Bayraktar TB2 UAVs and its success on the front line? Do you think that while the Ukrainian army continues to be successful in its special and comprehensive operations, will it be able to transfer this success to the front line? You can share your thoughts with us by commenting.